What's happening, people? Welcome back to the Sound Design channel. My name is La, and today we're going to look at the Don Diablo No Good lead, as well as the bass, and I'll show you a little bit of the drums as well. Let's have a look at what we're going to make. Cool. So yeah, this really nice saw kind of horn sounding lead. I'm not really sure how I'm describing that the best way, but really nice, very impactful, and it plays off the bass very nicely. So yeah, let's have a look at we'll look at the MIDI. All it is we're just working down the scale here essentially. So we're just playing like the C sharp, then the C, then the F sharp, then the F. They're like fifths from each other. They always sound nice, and then following down all the way down to the F. And then at the last part here, we just play these a few higher notes just beforehand. So it's still the same kind of progression here, or the same pattern. We're just adding in these higher notes here. That's it. So the sound design is done in Wavetable. We have a pack that's out. It's called the Deep Sound Pack through PML, and I'll link that in the description down below. But let's have a little look at the sound, and then we're going to recreate it from scratch. So it's made up of two oscillators. One of them is a sawtooth, and one of them is a square wave. And the square wave is pitched down 12 semitones, so it's the octave below, which is giving it the real body. Just going through like a simple filter, but I put it through this OSR so I could add some drive with the amp and the modulation that's going on here. So if we go to the amp, which is like controlling the main shape of the sound, we have this kind of short shape here. So we have the decay around 230, 250, something like that. And it's just going to give it this nice kind of short, plucky shape, but there's still a little bit of space for the sound to come through. Yeah, you can go really short, but we want a little bit of the body to come through. Yeah, somewhere around there, 250, 260. Going to be all good. So it sits around there. No sustain. We don't want it to maintain. A little bit of release. And then if we go to the matrix here, on the matrix, we go to filter modulation, and what we're doing is just basically modulating the cutoff filter with that amp. I'm doing some other stuff here with like modulating the attack with an LFO and the drive with an LFO, and because what I could hear in the original is that the sound was very different each time. It had this slight like move on the attack, and so I wanted to emulate that, and I did that with an LFO. Processing afterwards is just a pedal, which is like an amp, I guess. It's just giving it a nice bit of distortion and just gives it a bit more drive and grit. Took away a bit of the real lows, so the kick and the bass can come through. Got a limiter here, just controlling it, controlling the dynamic range a little bit, and condensing it, making it feel a bit fuller. And then other little effects and little magic touches to it is just a little bit of reverb and a little bit of delay. And with these reverbs and delay, all you want to do is just make sure you're filtering and just getting like the last high bits of the sound. So see here, rather than having like all of the sound being in here, we're just EQing, filtering the reverb, making sure we just get the top parts of the sound, and then the same on the delay as well. Delay is just being filtered here. You turn this on, and then you just you filter the top parts of the sound, and that's what I could hear in the original. There was just this little like sparkle or something that was going on at the top part, just so when it hits the high notes, and but then when on the bottom notes, it wasn't as evident. So yeah, cool. Let's recreate it from scratch. So yeah, what we want to do is we just set up a new MIDI channel, drag over the MIDI here. And then we'll just get Wavetable open. Okay, cool. So first we'll do the oscillators. So we want a sawtooth. Turn on the oscillator 2, and we want a square wave. Bring this one down 12 semitones. And that's all we need there. We go to the filter here. We can bring it down a little bit. Go to this amp. Bring that down all the way to the sustain. Bring the decay to 250. The attack is a little bit like this. We have a kind of like curvy shape here. A bit of release, not too much. Okay, let's go to the matrix. We'll listen to this in a second and make sure we've got all the settings right. But let's go to here, and we want to affect the frequency. So if you click on it, it'll give you the option here. Then we put that to 90. Let's have a listen. Okay, cool. We are kind of close. We want to add a bit of shimmer. Just about this. We don't need to actually change that too much. Just leave it as it is. I feel like we're missing a little bit more body in the sound. I think what I will do, yeah, change this to OSR. Add a bit of drive. Yeah, that's really nice. And then we'll get this pedal up. And we put the pedal to 30%, something like that. We don't want it to be too strong. Add a little bit of gain, put it on distort. Maybe a little bit less. Add a little bit of bass. Clean up this mud. Well, this is not mud, but unnecessary low frequencies. Put a bit of a harsh cut. Let's drop it down here. If you put a harsh cut on EQs, it will tend to do a bit of a build up here because it's quite a heavy cut and the sound kind of hits a wall and then builds up around here. So for me, I always do a little bit of a dip here, you see. So I'm compensating for the build up in that area. Yeah, that's all good. Maybe just a little bit less there. Okay, cool. I want to do some little modulation things to make it feel like it's not always the same. So what we'll do is we go to the amp, and on the attack, we just click on it. And now the amp attack is an option to modulate. And here I did a really small amount. I did like minus 6.2. So it's going to modulate negatively. It's going to make the attack shorter. And then it will also open up the other way as well. It's got polarity, so it's going to go both directions. And I put it on random and then just put the amount here, but the rate pretty low, so it's not like too many different choices. And yeah, put the amount pretty low, and we'll have a listen. I'll exaggerate it so you can really hear it. That way it's making it a lot shorter. But I just want a little bit of that, just a little bit of movement. Yeah, nice. I also quite liked it with the drive as well, so it will kind of randomly add more drive on some of the sound. So we can do that with this. Yeah, nice. And for me, I think I want a little bit less of the cutoff opening up. So it's a little bit more meaty, I guess, or there's a bit more body to it. Yeah, there we go. Maybe we bring this down a bit more. Bit more. There we go. All right, cool. So now we'll just go to some processing. This stuff you can ignore. It just automatically loads up when I set up a MIDI channel. I'm going to put a limiter. You can use a compressor or whatever, but this is just to condense the sound a little bit. We're going to set this to, we'll go to like -3 or something like that. This is our ceiling or threshold. And that way it's going to just condense it more. We can push it a little bit further. I don't want to go past -6 dB gain reduction. Yeah, nice. All right, let's add a little bit of reverb. So this is the stock default reverb in Ableton, but I just decreased the decay time and I decreased the reflect. And then we just move this over here. That's all it was. And that's to make sure that, like I said, that we are just reverbing the higher parts of the sound. And then if we go to the delay, same here. So we just leave it here, but we want to bring a little bit of this through. So we'll bring the delay in. Nice. All right, let's listen with the bass. All right, let's have a look at the bass. It's actually exactly the same preset as the lead. So if we just look, I think I might have changed one thing. Yeah, I changed both oscillators so they were playing squares because for me, I could hear that it had like this real meaty body to it, and square waves tend to give you that kind of shape and that feeling. But everything else is exactly the same. So you literally can just drag down the MIDI file or duplicate the channel, and then with the MIDI, we're just playing this F, 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 and that's it. Simple as that. I added a little bit more saturation. So I added this standard saturator from Ableton, and I just put it on medium curve and a little bit of drive. Put it at 50%. Don't want it to be too strong. And that's it. A little bit of sidechain compression to the kick. You can see here, heavy ratio, and then we got another limiter here, just doing the same thing as the lead. And that's it. That's the sound, guys. We'll have a quick look at the drums. I just used some nice loops from the Deep Premium Volume 5, and then some nice clap samples, which I just layered and kind of moved them a little bit off time from each other with some track delay. You can see here, some of them are a little bit earlier than each other, so they're not hitting exactly on the same at the same time, which just gives a little bit more room on the a little bit more headroom. And I'm also panning them left and right. We've got these 2 layers, and then like a main clap down the middle, and then a nice top loop and another hat loop here, and then just a nice kick from Deep Premium Volume 5, which is Tech Kick number 11. That's it. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching this one. If you found it helpful, let us know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe as well so you don't miss out on any more of our content. Also, hit the like button so we get shared around a bit more. Thank you very much, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.